all the rumors discussing and theorizing what Season 4 is going to be about, let's talk about what we do know about Season 4 itself. Because it's a bit interesting. So, a while ago, Doc White had kind of dropped from a comment a bit about Lloyd's elemental power, and that we'll learn more about it in the future of Dragons Rising. So far, we've had 3 seasons, and Season 3 Part 2 is obviously not going to explore Lloyd's elements, and so did Season 2 Part 2 not explore it. Season 2 Part 2 kind of just gave us a controversial idea. We've always known Lloyd's power to be energy, but apparently it's life. Lloyd's power comes from the Source Dragon of Life, of course, and the Source Dragon of Life does support him, but it's interesting. What is this power? Is it the 4 original elements of fire, lightning, earth, and ice combined to make this element? What is it? We've seen Lloyd obviously use fire, lightning, earth, and ice in different situations in the previous season. That's also to do with his golden energy and his heritage. But what is this power about? There is so many in-depth current things flying in and out about Lloyd's power that it is kind of hard to understand. And for fans that have just come into Dragons Rising, what the hell is energy? His power is life. Well, one of the writers had just dropped this, that apparently for centuries it was actually called life energy, which is really interesting, but people just got lazy and just said life, energy, life, energy. So, pretty cool stuff for learning about Ninjago's heritage. But getting back into this, what aren't we figuring out about this power of Lloyd's, and what will we find out during Season 4, of course? Well, one thing's for sure, I think Lloyd's power is definitely special. It goes beyond the first Ninjutsu Master's power, and if there was a previous Elemental Master that did have this power Lloyd has, it kind of makes things interesting, the Ninjago plotline. Remember, the Green Ninja was supposed to be this huge legend, this huge one that rised up above the 4 original ninja. This might have been scripted from Master Wu to do from his father, but what if there was more to this? What if there is a huge legend? Yeah, so I find this all very interesting. Obviously, the first Ninjutsu Master was able to control every element besides water and wind, which were controlled by Rujiro at the time. So, obviously, we are going to learn about Lloyd's power. We've also been told we're going to learn about Skylar's elemental power, but I will get into that in a separate video. Lloyd's power is obviously going to intrigue us when we learn more about it, and hopefully the Source Dragon of Life is the one that teaches us. But Lloyd will... It's very interesting. My theory here is that there's only one Elemental Master that did have this, and that would have been the first Ninjutsu Master. It kind of makes sense, because if you think about it, if Garmadon and Wu knew about this back during the Serpentine War, they wouldn't have to had struggled. And if there was a previous Elemental Master in another realm with this element, how the hell did they not transport here? We've never seen a life elemental dragon, not one that they've created and spawned like we saw in the Tournament of Elements, true to Hand of Time. I'm not talking about like one of those dragons that have the powers of an element. We've never seen anyone have energy life, or life energy before. So it is interesting, and it also will be interesting on what we can find out about life energy, because no offense, it sounds like it would heal someone, right? Life energy is a part of the creation element. It is a part of the first Ninjutsu Master. I wouldn't be surprised if the first Ninjutsu Master made life energy to be a supplement power to fight in a Source tournament. Because we do know, obviously, if it's been told from generations, someone would have had to fight down during the Source tournaments prior, and if Mugen ever appeared in those tournaments, we would obviously have to find out more information. I do actually hope that we do get a comic book run after Shadow Spin's finished, which I do want to talk about. Hopefully we'll get a bit of understanding about Mugen if they ever participated in this Source tournament. Could you imagine if the Elemental Masters prior to the Serpentine War went to fight in a Source tournament? That'd be pretty neat. But going back to Lloyd's information about his power, obviously over time we will learn more about it. It's at the moment very questionable what we can find out. Maybe the last 2 episodes will help us. But life is obviously very important, and Lloyd's power being energy, life energy right now in season 3, part 2, if we're going to talk about spoilers, could help heal the hollowed. Maybe his power could be used for some good there. Who's to say? In the comments down below, let me know everyone's thoughts here. I know I've probably been rambling on for a good 5 minutes at this point, but life energy is important to Lloyd's elemental power of life energy is really interesting, and we need to know more about it, and I thought I'd just quickly discuss it in this video. Peace out, guys.